SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Are you a business owner looking for help with HR benefits and payroll? MWG Employer Services offers a wide range of services and can create a custom plan that fits your needs and budget.
I was so overwhelmed with HR stuff. MWG Employer Services took all the stress out of it and even set up my payroll. I couldn't be happier.
MWG Employer Services is here to help you succeed. Call us today at 601-206-7966 or go to MWGEmployerServices.com.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
By C Spire. Power your home or business with C Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C Spire. C Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
A whole lot of winning happened around the state of Mississippi in baseball this weekend. A pair of sweeps, and Southern Miss got a huge series win as well. Mississippi State got revenge in basketball. Stop me if you've heard this before. The teams split the series, but opposite venues for some reason. Mississippi State dominant in that win. We will talk about that. We'll get to winners and losers, a college football fix, and more with you on this Monday edition of Sports Talk Mississippi. Little programming note, Christian Ostrander going to join us at 3:37, as he will every Monday and has every Monday.
3:37?
Yes.
Not 3:20.
It's 3:37 this year.
Okay.
What do you?
Well, because you said as he has every year,
but he joins
not.
us on Monday.
That was
every
not the
year.
time. It was the
time was the
fact
issue.
that he did
The
from week to week.
presence
Okay.
will happen, and then Brian O'Connor is apparently terrified of me because he joined Hadad a little bit earlier today.
He didn't say terrified. He said, "I won't come on the show."
That's
with
what he-
that
yeah.
scumbag Michael Borkey.
And we will play that in the 4 o'clock hour. Mike Bianco unable to join us this week, but he will join us every week starting next week. He has a speaking engagement this afternoon that he has to get to. And
Henceforth, I believe is the word you were looking for.
Hither on too.
He will join us every Monday starting next Monday. So 2 coaches, winners and losers, all that good stuff to get to on this Monday edition. The 3 amigos here today, and glad you're with us.
Whew. We want to be amigos or musketeers? Which one or the triple threat? Which one?
Does the Pearl River Resort allow one of those 3 entrants?
In what?
To the property.
Oh, I think they would let us all in, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, is there a better chance if you're the Musketeers or because we want to go there?
I think they would want the amigos at that one.
Yeah.
They probably run up a bigger bar tab, if we're being honest. Yeah. We are in the Pearl River Resort Studios. Pearl River Resort.
That's all I was trying to do, man. I was just trying to
segue
build you a
me,
bridge
but
right there.
Well, you got my interest, and I was like, "What does he mean?" And what do you mean? What do any of us mean? Well, I'll tell you what Pearl River Resort means. It means entertainment. It is the name to know in this state for great entertainment, great dining, great times at Pearl River Resort. C Spire text line is open to you at 601-879-4395. The best teams know how to get even better. That's why C Spire constantly enhances their wireless, fiber internet, and business solutions for you. Visit cspire.com today. C Spire, inspired by you.
A lot of winning around here.
We don't get tired of winning. We're winning all the time. We never stop winning. We win from day one.
Personal win?
You had a personal win? Let's hear it.
Yes.
You had 2 personal wins.
Hey, Dad, you're going to love this one, and you're going to lock into every second of this one, too.
No. I don't think I can talk about that yet.
Okay. The other personal win was I had at least 3 or 4 people were like, Richard Cross, man, so good on basketball. So good.
Oh, that's kind.
Yeah. I had 3 or 4 people reach out to me. Were like, and a couple of them were like, I was a little concerned, State Ole Miss. He was great.
I appreciate that.
There you go. So what's the other win?
Jane opened her new store today, finally.
Oh, nice.
Woo!
What is the name of the new store?
Fran.
I get it. I get the reference.
You think you do.
I don't. Okay.
And our daughter, Franny, thinks. It just so happens that that's what her name is. It is also my wife's middle name and her mother's and grandmother's family name, whatever. It worked.
Well, there you go. Congrats.
It was 4 letters. It was the exact same font.
Is it?
But yeah.
Is this another boutique?
Yeah.
Okay.
Different location.
French themed though. F-R-A-N. Yeah. It's
it's actually Fran. It's not Fran.
Fran. Shop in Fran.
No, but man, it's been cool to see her vision come to life on this and then try to kind of help execute it for her. And good grief, it was friends, family, and maybe even some foes that kind of helped us to get to the finish line over the weekend. Nice. It was Saturday and Sunday Friday and Saturday and Sunday were some long days. We got there, and I'm super excited for her. So that's really cool.
Scott,
right on cue.
Nobody believes he's working at this time of day. That's
Los Angeles, California. What do you think?
It's who lives in L.A.? I don't know.
Well, there's ESPN people that live in L.A.
It's Dave Roberts. If it is Dave Roberts, tell him. You know what? I can't tell you what to tell him on air, but you know what to tell him.
You know what to tell him. Baseball boring?
Huh?
You've made baseball boring? Please.
No, much harsher. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I figured.
Well, there you go. Look, I'm in the prom dress market. I got the younger daughter. If you can get me a deal, I might send her your way.
I don't think she's in prom dresses.
I've got a deal for you, Hadad. It's a second mortgage. Jeez.
I'm not surprised by that. So.
I get on Facebook Marketplace all the time, and
worn once.
I mean, worn once, and it's like $600 prom dress, worn one time. It's like, who is this for? You're just you're putting your regret online for somebody else to pretend to buy.
Somebody says, I finally saw a pic of Hadad. He looks nothing like what I thought it would. First off, George, we're on TV every day. We're on TV every day. Check us out, SuperTalk TV. You can see what we look like. Turn that thing down.
There's a little
silence your phone,
right on
sir.
the side of your phone.
I feel like a test proctor.
A little notch. You just kind of just push it.
You're not that important. All right? I understand you're the political newsmaker.
I thought I turned it down. It's turned down now. Zip it.
This guy's the newsmaker and newsbreaker here in the great state of Mississippi, but, it's sports time now. All right? You worry about the economy 7 or 6 a.m. tomorrow.
The economy.
The economy. I find that rather shallow and pedantic. Very shallow and pedantic.
Dan, I was going to say this for winners and losers. He's asking Richard about the curling controversy. Hey, Dad, have you seen the Canadians won't stop cheating in curling? They won't stop cheating.
I've said for a long time that Canada is a dirty country. I've said it from day one. That's why we're going to take over.
And hey, Dad, their defense, by the way, in the cheating is not, no, we didn't. It's, you set up a camera in a place where you're not allowed and caught us cheating. That's it. That's their defense is, actually, you're not allowed to put a camera there.
What a great defense.
And
that's better than everybody's doing it. That's you catching our cheating is actually illegal.
It's like getting pulled over by a cop. Actually, officer, radar gun. You can't use that radar gun.
Can't have that,
officer. But yeah, they've been double tapping. So what they do is they release the stone, and they're using their finger, hiding it behind the stone because your opponent's on the other end of the ice, and using their finger to do an additional little thing in case they release it wrong to make it go the right way. And they got caught red-handed or red-fingered, if you will, by the Swedes, I think is who caught them. But it's been a thing for them.
I thought the Swede kept his calm remarkably.
Getting touched by this guy?
Hey, you're cheating,
Is it when are you going to stop cheating? You calling me cheat? Yeah, I'll show you video of it after the fact.
Angry Canadians, man.
He lost it. And then the women did the same thing. It's a country thing. And oh, by the way, Canadian soccer got caught flying a drone over opponents' practices, too. So this, sorry, we're Canada, we're so nice. That's a charade. When it comes to international competition,
wow.
They're a bunch of cheaters.
A culture of cheating. Morally bankrupt.
Canada.
The Canadians. I had no idea.
Who have not won a gold medal yet, by the way. Canada.
Oh, man.
Snow-covered country can't win the snow games. Yeah, it's been. It's been an Olympics filled with controversy. You have the French judge gifting the French a medal. You have
the fuel injections, and you got all sorts of stuff going on.
Richard, did you see the ski jumper story?
No,
Did you hear us talk about it? Because that was the best part.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's great.
I need it.
A lot of euphemisms.
So, Richard, ski jumpers uniforms that they are laser. They're made by lasers to form fit to your body.
Yeah.
Because if you had a loose fitting one, it would create a sail effect. Well, ski jumpers have allegedly injected
enhanced
to make their suits fit a little bit looser to create a sail effect.
Yeah.
And so you had that to start the Olympics.
Magazine.
They've
been using science.
So you have that, you have the French judge, now the Canadians cheating. This is just an Olympics filled with nothing but scandal, apparently.
I mean, the Russians aren't even in there.
They're not even
what
there.
I think we should do?
What's that? Not talk anymore about it? Blame? Careful.
No, seriously.
Careful. That music. Careful.
That's all.
That's all. I gotta be careful. I've seen that movie.
They have got to stop.
Yeah, I mean, and think about it, the Russians aren't even in. They're the biggest cheaters of all. So,
the Americans don't even want to be there.
Yeah, half of them don't even want to be there.
Except for hockey.
The
hockey teams are awesome. We will buckle down a little bit when we come back. Maybe. Well, we'll
perhaps.
see. So, perhaps. I mean, everybody
Basketball
won.
and then baseball?
Let's start with basketball. Get that out of the way, because Hadad and I were both like, the game's happening. But Josh Hubbard was excellent, though. Redemption for the first time these two teams met. So let's talk about that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio.
From the event Talk Mississippi on the SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
Mississippi State and Ole Miss got together for the second time this year. As you guys know, Ole Miss won the first matchup in Starkville. Different story in Oxford. 90-78 the final game. Closer, frankly, in score than it actually was on the court. Mississippi State dominated this game basically from the jump and scored 90 points on Ole Miss's home floor. Josh Hubbard was the star in this one. 32 points on 12 of 16 shooting. Only took 6 threes made, 4 of them. And also, you had a really nice game from Achor, especially early on. He scored the first 11 points of the game for Mississippi State, I think it was.
That's correct.
So he was really good. Malik Diaz's best game of the year was for Knott. He scored 32 on 11 of 20 from the field, including 7 rebounds as well. A.J. Storr had 21 on 8 of 16 from the field. But Ole Miss loses at home, dominated at home by Mississippi State, and redemption for Hubbard after the way that first game ended.
Really thought Hubbard got robbed today on SEC Player of the Week. I mean, he averaged 30 points per game. I know he went 1-1, and the SEC doesn't like to give out things when guys lose, but the two guys they picked averaged 25 and 20. I thought Hubbard deserved SEC Player of the Week for the week he had. And one of those three-pointers was a record breaker as the all-time now leading three-point shooter in Mississippi State history. I don't know who the SEC's all-time leading three-point shooter is. Maybe Richard does off the top of his head. But another year of Hubbard, I have to assume he will be challenging for that by this time next season. This game, when I'm watching it, I couldn't help but think, and you guys...
Hold that thought. I mean,
you can do a little research.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but think this, that if Hubbard had just had a normal Hubbard game against Ole Miss in Starkville, State wins that game.
Yes.
I think Mississippi State is a better team than Ole Miss. And that's not saying much because both of these teams are not very good. But State is the better team. And they just, Hubbard and Epps that night picked the wrong night to be the absolute worst versions of themselves. But that being said, Ole Miss got the win there. They did not get the win here. Ole Miss offensively was rough in the first half. rough. Could not get anything going. And then
what game are you talking about? Because it's been the
feels
same
like
for the last 2 months.
I mean, Ole Miss hasn't won since they beat Mississippi State in Starkville.
Yeah.
And State, I'm going to laugh really hard if State puts together a little late season push and finishes 8-10 like the way they have the last 3 years, but they won't make the tournament this year because of the non-conference stuff. Here's the truth, and I'm going to steal this from a message board. If you get the normal Josh Hubbard, if you get between 22 and 30 points from Josh Hubbard, if any one Mississippi State player has between 17 and 25 to go with that, State's going to win. Almost, like 99% of the time. In this game, it was a chore. Came out hot really early, had a couple buckets late. I thought that McGee and Epps were okay. I thought Sean Jones's late three-pointer late in the shot clock when Ole Miss, I think, had cut it to 12. That was a big shot for Mississippi State. Still not getting much out of Quincy Ballard. That ship has just sailed already. But for State, they still have South Carolina to play. They have Auburn at home this Wednesday in a game where, with the Keyshawn Murphy grudge match finally coming back to Starkville. If they can find a way to win a couple of more, you go into next season, and it just is what it is. But by and large, State wanted to win this game. And not that Ole Miss didn't, but State did not want to go 0-2 against this Ole Miss team. Yeah. It's one thing if talking about last year's Ole Miss team or last year's State team, those teams were good. These teams are not good. You didn't want it to go 0-2.
Interestingly, if Josh Hubbard maintained the pace that he had for his freshman year and his sophomore year, do you know how many threes he made as a freshman at Mississippi State?
I don't know off the top of my head.
108.
Okay.
You know what he did his sophomore year?
112.
Also 108.
Ah.
If he were to have 108 this year and 108 next year, he would be the all-time three-point king in the SEC by one.
By one? Wow. Who is
Chris
it?
Lofton, Tennessee,
That's a good
05 to 08, 431 three-pointers made.
There you go. And, of course, he had, I just off the top of my head, I have to assume he had some deeper postseason runs than Hubbard has at this point.
Probably so.
So, and Hubbard not going to have much of a postseason run at all with this one. That's the one thing about Hubbard. I was talking about him on the podcast that he's on the Mount Rushmore, if you want to say, for Mississippi State basketball. But the lack of any kind of postseason success, it keeps him below Bailey Howell. If you want to put, somebody like Eric Dampier or Darrell Wilson in front of him, just because they had more postseason success. But certainly one of the greatest players in Mississippi State history. I hope that he will have that one shining moment next year, because I would love to see an extended run of him in the NCAA tournament. He's the kind of player that when he gets hot, he's fun to watch. And so I think that the nation could embrace that a little bit, but that's going to be a discussion for March in 2027.
Yeah. I wonder if you went to do they have build your own prop bets at the sports book at Timeout Lounge?
I don't know.
I don't know that exists, but I wonder what kind of odds you could have gotten on a chore scores the first 11 for Mississippi State against Ole Miss on Saturday night in
We
Oxford.
could be sitting pretty right this second had we put couple of bucks on that one.
Yeah.
You could have gotten Ole Miss falls into an early deficit at minus 5,000, though.
So when you tweeted that, I was prepared for Ole Miss to come back and take the lead, and I was going to tweet, the odds of Mississippi State giving up a first-half lead were the exact same. That's how it rolls. But State, to their credit, never really faltered. I mean, once they got that lead in the double digits, they kept it there.
I think there's something that you got to point out, though, because there are two parts to a chore in that start. Mm-hmm. So the first part is him, right? He made those shots. He made a big shot from the corner. Mm-hmm. He made another three. He got to the free throw line one time. He, kind of with the shot clock winding down, drives from the corner toward the lane and gets kind of an off-balance shot to go. So that part of it was really impressive. There's a reason, though, that he was as open as he was for those first couple of threes, because Ole Miss's plan going in was we are stopping Josh Hubbard, and they were going to double him every single time he touched the ball. And to Hubbard's credit, he was able to find the open guy or get it to a guy who then got it to the open guy out of those double teams. Hey, Dad, I know you've watched him basically every game of his career, and I've seen Josh Hubbard play in person, I don't know, maybe
At least
maybe 10 times.
Yeah, about to say close to a dozen times
over the course of 3 years.
Yeah,
that was far and away the most impressive and in control game I have ever seen him play.
Yeah.
You know the quickness is off the chart. You know he can get a shot off anytime he wants to, just because of that sheer elevation and the foot kick out and all of those things. But he didn't force anything. Mm-hmm. And maybe the most impressive play was the one where he kind of drives with the shot clock winding down and stumbles, and he's able to, like, underhand as somebody's falling on his leg, flip the ball to Matsura, who gets it up off the glass to beat the shot clock. And it's like, man, that was a big-time play. I just thought it was really impressive with Hubbard.
Speaking of impressive, what did you think of that dunk by JDF? And this is what I was talking about earlier, but people were saying, you what a good job you did on the call. That dunk, you gave it its due. I mean, you were like, wow, what a play. And it was. That kid, if he's got to get better shooting free throws. He is the worst free throw shooter I've ever seen in my life.
You know what that is? That's mental.
It's got to be, because in high school he was a decent shooter. So
he was at 33% going into the game, and I think went over from the line, including a lane violation where he got an extra try, and he just boinked it again.
He just does it again. So he's kind of limited in that he can't play the 4. Like, you can't have a guy like that playing a 4. He gives you no spacing. He's got to play the 5 unless he can become a better shooter. So I guess that's his offseason plan, is to just develop some sort of mid-range. But the inside stuff, the rebounding, the defense, he's a little bit ahead of being a freshman, I feel.
If I remember correctly, I was like mid-sentence.
You were talking about Trinidad.
In a thought, something, and it was like, oh!
Yeah, you were talking about Trinidad.
Oh, was that right after they shown him coming out of timeout?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah, you gave it its due. That was a tremendous dunk. So, good win for State. Bad loss for Ole Miss.
There's some conversation to be had about the current state of Ole Miss basketball.
You know what I saw on Message Board Geniuses? There, I saw, could LSU get Chris Beard? And I was just like, oh, my God, I would laugh. I don't know that I'd ever stop. I think that'd be the funniest show we ever did in our lives. Like, if they get Beard, too.
Hey, is this as simple as some years it's going to work when you overhaul the roster, and some years it's just not going to work?
Because
it's not a lack of investment.
It's not, but it's a lack of evaluations, apparently, on both sides, for both teams.
I mean, swung and missed on evaluations for sure. They've been a bad rebounding team for 3 years in a row, though. They haven't gotten the block correct yet. I mean, even last year, again, it was a Sweet 16 team, but that was carried by guards. They had really good guard play, and Diaz showed up when he did. But they've not only missed evaluations, but there's some things that they need to adjust rather quickly. Because I heard somebody on ESPN say that it's just a difficult job. You know, Chris Beard can coach. No, he's got every resource that he needs to win, and he put a roster together that's not good enough. And that's not an Ole Miss problem. He's good enough coach to figure that out, but they're really bad, and that it's not because of lack of investment. Christian Ostrander when we come back.
Best sports talk in the state.
It's the best thing.
Say that again.
We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We go down to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com to go with the home team. Christian Ostrander, Coach Christian Ostrander, joins us now. Southern Mississippi baseball. And, Coach, I don't know if you can have the feel of June and May in February, but, man, it sure felt like it down in Hattiesburg this weekend.
Yeah, it definitely did, man. It was electric. You know, our fans really showed up, and you know, they knew the magnitude of this team, and it was as advertised, you know, especially with Flora on Friday night, and man, everything kind of shaped up that way. So it was a tough draw. It felt like a heavyweight fight, to be honest with you.
Talking about Flora, we had some national guys on here, and they kind of mentioned him. And then I saw a tweet today that said, "Hey, if the White Sox want to zig instead of zag this draft, they could take him first." I had no idea that this guy was as talented as apparently he is. When you saw him this weekend, do you see first round MLB draft kind of talent?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's special. And I've been fortunate to see some really good ones over my career. Team USA did a couple of summers ago, and it's one of the best I've ever seen.
But not to be deterred, a huge bounce back on Saturday, Oz, and it really was heroics in the late innings. You get 2 in the 6th and a run in the 7th and 2 in the 8th to break that 6-6 tie. What a way to battle back for your team to split the series on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. They kind of got on us early, and they play with a lot of passion too, and they expect to win. You can tell. And anyway, but our guys just keep battling, and finding a way to, it might be 4-1, and you get one more or whatever, hold them. But really, the change was, I think, in the 4th inning. After the 4th inning, we ended up putting 5 goose eggs on the board, with our bullpen, and gave us a chance to, bounce back and get back in there and stuff. So, just very, very pleased to see some maturity and not panicking by the offense, and very pleased to see, the bullpen stepping up and giving us stops when we needed it.
At the end of the game, because you go to Armistead and you go to Ock there, and those are obviously very familiar names. But when you go to Clark at the end for that final inning to go get the final 3 outs, and we know those are the most difficult 3 outs, you're talking about a guy that a year ago was pitching at Pearl River. It feels like every year you have somebody who wasn't a contributor in the previous year that kind of steps into a big role, and people are like, "Oh, well, this guy's pretty good." What can you tell us about Camden Clark and kind of what he brings, because he's kind of a hometown guy?
Yeah, he's got the makeup. First of all, he's ice in his veins mentality, and not scared. He's going to come at you, and he has really good stuff, and he's a strike thrower. So, great combination, right? And no, it's 100%. We knew this was something that he could be, that guy, that back end monster, But hats off to him to really handling that, and your first one and not letting the adrenaline get you out of whack. He really kept composure with everything, and looked amazing in my opinion.
So yesterday in Game 3, some drama at the end, maybe a little more than you would have liked. You take the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Santa Barbara ties it up in the top of the 9th inning, and then you get the walk-off walk at the end of the game. Kind of walk us through the roller coaster of emotions there at the end of the game.
Well, I mean, the reality of them getting a run in the 9th to win it, we had 2 outs, and there was a pop-up to the infield, and it was up there, and we missed it. And that would have been the game. And, and then, lo and behold, the next batter hits triple off the wall. And so, it's hanging in balance, and baseball gods are fixing to punish you for not finishing it. But Cam stays in the moment, gets a strikeout. We come back and apply pressure, get a leadoff guy on, and whatever, and end up getting that walk-off walk. So, but just proud for these guys to, that could have been devastating. I wouldn't even want to have thought about, what do you say after a loss like that if we were to. But the guys stayed in there and got it done.
Coach, is there something you know about your team today on Monday that you didn't know about them on Thursday after seeing them play 3 games?
Oh, 100%. I think I believed it. You still got to see it. And this weekend provided so many teaching moments, coaching moments that we can draw from later. Just so many. And that's awesome. When, you look at a college baseball season, you're going to have to, you're gonna have moments, man. Where you're gonna have to draw from a past experience or whatnot. So I think these guys showed that, and they showed maturity, and and just poise. And I was, and fight. That's all I can ask, man. I was very proud of them.
What did you take away offensively, kind of as a whole this weekend? You hit some long balls, a couple of doubles mixed in there. Did you walk enough? Did you strike out too much? Didn't look like the strikeout numbers were way out of whack.
No, especially with the arms we were facing. Their Saturday guy was probably a top 3 rounder. He might be a top 2 rounder. I mean, he was salty too. And then their Sunday guy was, the Friday night starter at Long Beach State last year. So, So I mean, so we had our challenges, and I thought our guys did a really good job. I mean, there's really not a script against Flora. I mean, good luck, with that. But I thought our guys did the best they could of fighting and trying to move the baseball. But very pleased with it, and it's a mature group, man. There's a lot of experience in this lineup, so there should be some of those characteristics you hope for. And but we kind of felt it, and you saw it. So just. Again, it's a longer lineup, and that feels like it has some good experience in there.
As we know that you and your predecessors have never been able to or have never been hesitant to schedule difficult games. I look at your schedule this year, and it says to me, this is a team that is going into the year with the goal of building a resume that puts them in a great position to host at the end of the year. How much went into that when you look at, Santa Barbara coming to your place, you got Tech in a non-conference series, you do the Round Rock Classic, which is where you're headed, and then those SEC teams that you face every year in the midweek, whether it's Alabama or Mississippi State or Ole Miss. What went into the way that you built this schedule?
I mean, it's being consistent, with what we've been doing for a while here, like you said, and just trying to find great opponents, that you want. It's tough. It's trying to find a balance as well, but you don't want to bury yourself, but you also got to be. You got to believe that you can go and stand up to a schedule like this. So. We feel like this is what we have to do, for us to have a chance to host postseason baseball. That's our goal. It's not just making it. That's obvious. We want to make it, but it's we want to try to host. And I think we have to schedule this way. And if you do it, if you win games with it, you're shot. And I think that's been proven. So not easy, but fortune favors the bold, and you got to go after it and embrace it. And baseball's a game. It don't matter who you play. If you don't play well, you're probably going to lose. If you play well, you got a chance to win. So that's kind of the way we look at it.
Just a little fun thing here, Coach. I don't know if you saw this last week, but Mike Bianco was part of a panel for The Athletic talking about college baseball, and he listed your team as one of the teams that's going to surprise this year. But I said it's only a surprise if you guys aren't any good. I think you guys are great every year. Was Coach Bianco taking a shot at you? That's what I want to know right now.
I don't think so. I sure appreciate his words. And no, I don't think he would do that.
No, me either. But what does that say for you that a coach, in this state, that when you talk about a national, statement, hey, who do you think is going to surprise people this year? He came to your team.
Well, that's humbling. We're there's gratitude to hear that, and it's great for the program. And ultimately, you want to be respected by your peers and stuff. And this program, certainly, I feel like it should be. And I don't say that arrogantly at all. I mean, I'm one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet. But to me, it's a testament to the program. It's a testament to what the great coaches long before me that did it so well here, and the great players. And we just got to keep it going, man. That's our job. That's my job. Just really trying to keep the culture going forward.
Christian Ostrander, head baseball coach at Southern Miss. Got Southeastern Louisiana. Got to go to Hammond tomorrow night. What are you going to do on the mound?
Camden Sunstrom will start for us. He's kind of in that mode now. He's a bridge guy, maybe on some weekends, on some spot starts here and there during the week or whatnot. But definitely feel good about him giving us a chance, and getting on the bump. He's ready for it.
That'll be good. As always, appreciate your time. We really are grateful that you give us this each week, and know folks love to hear from you.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. That's Christian Ostrander, head baseball coach at Southern Miss, joining us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau.
Guess the pumping in the crowd noise didn't work, by the way.
That was, I wouldn't say super regional level, but that Santa Barbara team is good. Their Friday night guy is a guy who's going to go high in the MLB draft. I can't help but think that Southern Mississippi is going to look back in April and May and say that series, coming back and winning those two games, was big for us.
Yeah. In case, I know Coach was a little garbled there at the end. In case you didn't catch the name, Camden Sunstrom is going to be the starter tomorrow night against Southeastern Louisiana. Did pitch once this weekend through on Saturday. Valentine's Day, gave up 5 hits, struck out 3, couple of earned runs, did not walk a batter. He's a sophomore from Baton Rouge. Went to U High in Baton Rouge. We're back with you after this.
And now we have a special surprise for everyone.
Give it to me. More Sports Talk Mississippi right now on Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Monday afternoon. Brian Hadad, Michael Borkey, Richard Cross with us here in the studio. Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you in part by AgriGold. AgriGold believes progress in the field starts with seed and the people who plant it. That's why AgriGold focuses 100% on seed, delivering trusted genetics and solutions to help you get more out of every acre. Contact Kerry Baker today at 662-836-7417. He is your local AgriGold representative. To learn more, or visit agrigold.com to explore seed solutions and agronomy resources. Plant your legacy today with AgriGold.
You guys and everybody listening probably saw the news. I wouldn't be surprised if Richard talked about it on the morning show. Or maybe this news happened after he went off air. Robert Duvall, the legendary actor, passed away at 95 years old. And obviously The Godfather, To Kill a Mockingbird, he's legendary for legendary roles. If you look at his IMDb page, the amount of movies that guy, like elite movies, through the entire span of his decades-long career is really impressive, and not just serious roles. I mean, he was in Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, the youth soccer movie, where where Will Ferrell got hyped up on coffee and, anyway. But so it's serious roles, it's funny roles, it's decades of just quality work and an elite actor and a life well lived.
I mean, for me, Tom Hagen, one of the all-time great characters. I love the Godfather movies. One of the biggest flaws of Godfather 3 is that they just didn't pay Robert Duvall the money to play Tom Hagen again. And it takes away from the movie in a big way for me. Apocalypse Now, another legendary role. I mean, who hasn't one time in their life said, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning"? It's a great line. And as you said, I mean, I've never seen Lonesome Dove, but that's a TV thing that he might be more famous for that than anything. People love Lonesome Dove. So, yeah, this guy, I mean, Duvall, Pacino, De Niro, Hoffman, that's that generation of actors there, and we lost one of the greats today.
Do you remember, hey, Dad, when we were growing up, and I think it happened every year. I think it was an annual thing that Lonesome Dove aired
come on every year.
Television.
Yeah.
But it was over the course of 4 nights, right?
Yeah, it was a miniseries.
Yeah. I mean, it was as if it were a movie, and it's about a 7-8 hour movie that was broken up into 4 parts, and you would have people that would kind of sit down and watch the entire thing. I mean, the snake scene will never not be the first thing that pops into my mind. Although there are a lot of people that go, no, that's not the part of Lonesome Dove that you should carry with you. Mm-hmm. But man, oh man, what an incredible actor!
Just great, and I mean,
and I agree with you on that Tom Hagen role. I mean, so important to the story.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's the voice of reason between the hothead Sonny and the ice cold Michael. I mean, and he makes that movie work. They needed that character so badly. So yeah, the Robert Duvall, man, just a legend. Yeah, that word gets thrown around a lot, but it fits. It fits for Robert Duvall. So
just looking at the.
That's right. He was Cole Trickle's crew chief. He was Harry Hogg.
Yeah.
In Days of Thunder. I love Days of Thunder. That is one of my guilty pleasure movies. I'll watch that anytime it's on.
The cast of Lonesome Dove. Robert Duvall, Tommy Lee Jones, Danny Glover, Diane Lane.
I mean, it's just legends.
Whew.
They don't make stuff like that anymore. They like TV miniseries. They just go straight to to Netflix. They don't. You're never going to see NBC or CBS do something like that ever again.
Yeah, they go straight to Netflix, where Netflix admits that they need to reiterate the plot 3 times in an hour because people can't watch because they're too busy on their phones. I mean, it's just, guys like him just aren't going to happen anymore, it seems.
So significant loss in the entertainment world.
Yeah.
Speaking of entertainment, hey, Dad, why didn't you use the picture of you sweeping home plate that I sent you for your podcast?
I try to let the athletes have and the coaches have the shine.
Richard, I am addicted to getting AI to make Hey Dad do stuff. And I mean, I made him a judge when we found out
that was great.
That Trinidad was going to be, going to court. I have made Hey Dad dressed in Viking regalia on a laptop. Mm-hmm. He was an Olympic snowboarder. He was a figure skater. I can't stop. I really cannot stop doing it.
Just keep it coming. I enjoy seeing them.
And I sent him one of him wearing a uniform, a Mississippi State uniform, sweeping home plate to use for his podcast thumbnail, and he didn't do it. He didn't use it.
I didn't do that.
I think that I have come up with the punishment for the bet this year should I not be on the winning side.
If you're not on the winning side?
Yeah.
You're going to tell me your punishment?
No. If I'm not on the winning side, I'm sorry. If I am on the winning side.
Oh, okay.
And I get to prescribe the punishment, I think I have settled on a good one.
Okay. Well, thankfully, State winning on Saturday has kept me in it.
Help things out a little bit.
We can explain what's left on the bet.
If we can get the transcript, Brian Hadad will read the entire ruling in the Trinidad.
SportsTalk Mississippi with Richard Cross, Brian Hadad, and Michael Borkey is back.
I'm all ears.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
I'm trying to find a way to start talking. It's so loud. I mean, not that I don't like it.
It's a great song.
It is.
Turn your headphones down.
I could have done that, I guess. Own the John Deere compact tractor you've always wanted now with 0% financing at Ag Up. Whether you're trading in, upgrading your land, or a new landowner needing equipment, your Down Home team will get you the right machine at the right price. Now with 0% financing on all 1 through 4 series machines. Stop by your local Ag Up or visit them at agup.com. Your Down Home dealer. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. It's Monday. It's 4 o'clock. You know what it is.
It's 0%. It's like free money.
It's winners and losers.
I know. I thought you would keep going. I just was going to throw it in.
We got winners. We got losers.
Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser.
Winner never win. And a winner never.
What did you like from the weekend? What didn't you like from the weekend? So let us know on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. Michael Borkey.
The United States women's hockey team, they've made the gold medal game, and that is a winner in and of itself. The last 5 games, they have won by a score of 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, 6-0, 5-0 over Finland, Switzerland, Canada, Italy, and Sweden, respectively. If you're wondering, wait a minute, did he say 0 for all of those? Yes. They have gone 5 consecutive Olympic games without giving up a goal. The only goal that they have allowed in these Olympics was a game in which they won 6-1. They have gone 331 consecutive minutes without giving up a goal in these Olympics. They have outscored their opponents 31-1 on their way to the gold medal game. Absolute, unbelievable dominance by the United States women's hockey team, and they are expected to win the gold here in very short order. The most dominating run so far in the history of the Olympics.
Nothing wrong with that. Richard Cross, do you have a winner?
Yes. I was going to go low-hanging fruit and go Josh Hubbard, but I'm going to put that one on pause just for a second and stick with Michael Borkey's theme. Ilana Myers-Taylor has won World Cups, won World Championships. She already was the oldest woman to win an Olympic bobsled medal. She has recruited dozens of people to the sport and twice has come back from becoming a mother to becoming a star in bobsled. One thing missing, a gold medal. Not anymore. The 41-year-old Myers-Taylor finally has an Olympic gold. It is her first, and it is one that made her the oldest American woman to ever hear the Star-Spangled Banner played in her honor at the Winter Olympic Games. 3 minutes, 57.93 seconds on the bobsled run for Myers-Taylor. That's a pretty cool story at age 41. And you want to talk about, I mean, you watch luge or skeleton or bobsled, and they just get in a rocket ship going through a tunnel of ice.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like, how did you find out you were good at that? That's one of those things I always want to know. My winner is interesting that I didn't actually watch any of this, but I feel like I got a little FOMO from the NBA All-Star Game, of all things. Apparently this new format, the U.S. versus the world, it worked. And a lot of the people who I follow on Twitter, people I listen to podcasts on, they were like, this was great. This was a lot better. Now, look, the three-point contest and the slam dunk, those still need some work. Those probably, I don't know if there's any
Jackson Hayes needs to, they need to take it, send him to the G League. He doesn't need to be playing in the NBA anymore.
He's got no business being in that competition. And I don't, that is what it is. But the game itself on Sunday, the players played hard, and there was defense, and there was fouls, and there was drama, and the stuff that we've been complaining about for the past few years with this game. So I will definitely be checking out the 2027 NBA All-Star Game.
Very good.
Any other winners we got?
Yeah, I mean, Josh Hubbard's got to be there. And there's so many different directions you could go. You could go for his play on Saturday night, where he was absolutely outstanding. But I think the bigger picture is probably the thing that you look at. Barry Stewart had 280 career-made three-point baskets at Mississippi State. He and Josh Hubbard were tied at that number going into Saturday evening's game that Mississippi State played against Ole Miss. Took about 8 or 9 minutes of game time, and then Josh Hubbard hit that first three, got to 281, and he became the three-point king at Mississippi State. He added 3 more of them. Mississippi State made only 5 threes against Ole Miss in the first meeting between the two teams, and they were something like 1 of 18 to start the game. They made 12 on Saturday night. It was an impressive win for the Bulldogs, and I guess fitting for Josh Hubbard that it came against the team that he was once committed to, and just a really big moment for him and for Mississippi State basketball.
So I don't know what the numbers were out of Oxford, and if you guys, I'm sure you two guys know, and if you want to let me know, but 12,000 at Mississippi State for all 3 games. So I guess 12,200 something. That was an opening day record. 12,006 for the doubleheader. I was following along on Twitter, and Aaron Fitt from D1 Baseball was in Hattiesburg, and he was remarking over and over again about the crowds down there and how exciting these games were. The Ole Miss crowds look good. Like I said, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but baseball in Mississippi, such a huge deal. And opening weekend, I mean, Richard, we got as close to 70 degrees and sunny as I have ever seen us get for opening day. They tried so hard, but it was fantastic weather all weekend. We were able to skip most of the rain. It wasn't as bad as people thought. Everybody got 3 games in, and we got 3 really enjoyable baseball games.
It was, I checked on Friday afternoon. It was 69 and sunny.
Nice.
Take it every time.
Yeah. Every time. And Saturday was okay. Sunday was a little yucky. Let's see here. Your attendances for Ole Miss over the weekend. Yesterday was 84-46. Saturday was 93-26. So that's about 18,000 between those two games. and opening day was 10,471. So
that's crazy.
A little over 28,000 for the 3 games in Oxford. They had I don't know when they started counting tickets scanned for students, but they had the biggest student crowd beyond the right field wall on opening day since 2022, since they've started keeping up with those. So all in all, pretty good.
We'll get the winners from the C Spire text line and the losers, but I want to throw this one out. Winner, Mississippi State for beating the science. Shout out Cross for being the solution to defeating it.
Your record in state games is unbelievable.
The cross conundrum, the cross corollary to the science. I'm bringing this up on the next podcast. We may have found an outlier.
See, and that's the thing about science, Hadad. Your science is not wrong. There are outliers to the data.
The cross corollary is fantastic.
So you and Robbie still correct.
Yes.
Speaking of science, if you have listened to the show every day, you know that I am into a couple of conspiracy theories in particular. This is probably more for Cross in the morning, but that's okay. One of them is aliens. I am fascinated by that. There is a guy named Brian Tyler Cohen. He's some political podcaster, joker guy. He had a former President Barack Obama, on his podcast. And he asked him, straight up, we're talking about a former president of the United States. Regardless of how you feel about him politically, doesn't matter. He was the president of the United States for 8 years. And this guy asks him straight up, are aliens real? A former president answers, they're real, but I haven't seen them, was his immediate answer. The guy didn't ask a follow-up question. He just moved on to the next thing. He heard a president say, they're real, and he just moved on. Like he didn't even hear it. He wasn't even listening. He didn't comprehend the answer. You have somebody that knows more secrets about secret stuff than anybody on the planet tell you to your face they're real. And
Richard Cross would have followed up.
You didn't ask a single follow-up question? Not one? Nothing? You just moved on to, the economy. Like, what are you doing? You had the possibility for the best news break of all time, and you just
let it slide.
Just let it go. You didn't even, nothing. What
Not
a
great.
loser. Come on, man.
Not great.
Not good at all. You've got to ask a follow-up to that.
We'll get back to the C Spire text line in just a bit, but when we come back, we go to the Farm Bureau guest line. My conversation with Mississippi State head baseball coach Brian O'Connor, coming off of his first 3-game set at Dudy Noble Field, and a successful 3-game set. But, from my perspective, it's all right. That's all right.
We'll talk about
We'll talk more about that.
They played 3 games. They won 3 times.
They won 3 times. I guess you can't ask for much more than that. We'll do that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Hadad, Cross, Borkey with you on a Monday afternoon.
From the Venable Glass.
Sports Talk Mississippi is back.
This is it.
Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you on a Monday afternoon. We go to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Coach Brian O'Connor joins us for the first Monday of the baseball season. We had Coach Ostrander on in the 3 o'clock hour. Coach Bianca will join us in the 5 o'clock hour. Coach, appreciate you taking some time out of the day. How much can you really learn about your team in 3 games? What did you learn about your team that you didn't know on Thursday?
Well, Brian, it's hard just 3 games in to learn too much. Obviously, there's things you take away that you got to work on, little details and things like that. But just really proud of our group that there were 3 different times this weekend that we were behind in the game. Right, certainly the 3rd game they hit the 3-run home run in the first. And just to see our team's poise and how we handled some of those situations and came right back and got ourselves back in the ball game or took the lead. And, really to see some of these pitchers, Brian, I learned a lot the opening weekend. All the games are tight. and you see how some of these guys come in and manage situations. We can call it like it is, Brian. There's not many guys here at State this year that have any experience pitching in this uniform, right? They might have experience pitching in college baseball or junior college or whatnot, but the tight ball games, to see the pitchers for the most part come in and throw strikes and manage the situation and keep the game in check, certainly was really, really great to see. And we have a lot of options position player wise. For the most part, Brian, I only played 11 or 12 players this weekend. That will start opening up tomorrow, in a couple of these midweek games. Take a look at a couple of other players and see how they manage the at-bats and things like that. So all good stuff. Come away with 3 victories is obviously what you want to do, but also our team grow and learn.
Can I take anything away from the fact that the guys who had the best weekend at the plate, Reese, Stallman, Chance, Fried, those are all guys that played here last season?
Yeah, I think there's something to that. I don't make a big deal of that, Brian. Aiden Teal's played a lot of college baseball. James Nunnally started most of the games last year. Other players, but hey, let's call it like it is. It's different. They're trying to prove themselves that they belong and that they can get the job done for Mississippi State. And candidly, I just saw a little bit of more presence out of the players that have played in this stadium, and than the players that haven't. And that will start to slow down for those players that haven't. Their heart rate will slow down a little bit, and they'll handle the strike zone better. I thought defensively we played great all weekend. The only error we had was a throwaway on a pick off the mound. Other than that, we handled the ball in the middle of the infield exceptionally well. I thought we caught really well. So a lot of great things, but I think there's certainly something to what you said. And as the games and the at-bats stack up, I think we'll see what all these young men are capable of doing.
The other side of that coin for me is that the pitchers I thought were the most impressive this weekend were transfers, were Tomas Valinkas and Brendan Sweeney. Now, you're a former pitching coach. If you just want to say pitchers are more mentally tough than hitters, I'll let you have that. But what about that side of the coin? Why were those guys so effective?
Again, you talk about 2 guys, Valinkas and Sweeney. Sweeney pitched in this stadium last year, right, for South Carolina. And Valinkas started in the rotation last year at Virginia the entire year as a true freshman. And so, they handled it terrific. I thought Chris Billingsley, for his first inning out there, was really good. Mm-hmm. Maddox Webb came in and pitched the 9th inning with the 2-run lead and managed a situation there in the 9th. So that was great to see. I thought those guys were aggressive, attacked the strike zone. And I'll tell you, Brian, I was really, really impressed with Hofstra's offensive approach. Mm-hmm. They were incredibly feisty with 2 strikes, would hit the ball the other way, and they played great defense on the infield. So, but those pitchers did a terrific job, especially a couple of those that you pointed out there.
So, in my job that I got to make predictions based off of what I think you're going to do. And one of those things was, trying to predict your first lineup. And I basically got the positions right, but the batting order I was a little bit off on. What is it about James Nunnally that makes you want him at the top of your order?
Well, that's what I wanted to take a look at kind of here out of the gate. He was one of the most productive players in the preseason and in the fall. I thought against Florida State in the fall down in Jacksonville, he swung the bat really well. He's got a chance to lead the game off with a double, has proven to be a tough out and have a mature approach. There are a couple of at-bats this weekend that he didn't, and without having Noah Sullivan in there in game one, I felt like that was the right mix for us. And this is going to be ever evolving. Typically you do what you have to do every day to win the ball game, but you also have to start to take looks at maybe what is the best lineup to have. And when you have two returning players like Ace Reese and Noah Sullivan that had terrific years last year, where they're at and who's around them not only set them up, but also be behind them is going to be critically important for us to get figured out.
I think if you look back at the beginning of your career, a player like Bryce Chance would have been a much bigger star in college baseball. Now it's just so much about the long ball, but this is a guy who is experienced. He knows what he's doing. I thought he made great contact all weekend, had 3 hits, batted .300. And from the leadership piece, I think he's invaluable. I loved his choice of a walkout song as well. It's being a dinosaur in his day and age, yeah. Bryce Chance, the player, how valuable is he to this team?
Well, he's valuable. He's a tough, gritty player. I know, Mississippi State means a lot to him, and he's got a terrific amount of pride in this place, and has been a leader ever since I took over this program, and so he's very, very valuable. Even if he doesn't start a game, Brian, because maybe we want to look at some other options, or maybe get somebody in there that has a chance to drive the ball to the ballpark. He can also come in the game late defensively. You can put him into pinch run. He's pretty versatile and certainly means a lot to this baseball program.
2 midweek games coming up with Troy and Alcorn State. Troy is a very good program there and has been over the past few years. Have you made your decisions on who'll be throwing those games, who'll be getting the starts in those games?
Yeah, well, we're still making the final decision on that, but on Wednesday. But Duke Stone will start on Tuesday, and we'll just kind of chop the game up. We're still at the point Duke threw on Friday 2 innings. And then we'll chop it up with a bunch of relievers. We'll find out more, who's available as they warm up for the game on Tuesday, based on when they pitched and how many pitches they threw over the weekend. But we'll pour everything into Tuesday and do everything we can to win that game, and then turn our attention to the ball game on Wednesday.
One last question here. We just about 90 seconds left. 12,200, I think, our opening day record. 12,600 for the doubleheader on Saturday. I knew the crowds would be big. They were bigger than even I thought they would be. How impressed were you with your fan support for week one?
Oh, it was awesome. The fans are a big part of what make Mississippi State baseball great. They're so passionate, and as I reminded the players, they're all behind them. And they're so much into the ball game and every pitch. They know the game, and I know that they've been waiting for the baseball season to get started, and how much pride they have in this baseball program. And just awesome for the players, the coaches, and the staff to have that kind of support on opening weekend. Just shows why you coach at Mississippi State and why you choose to play at Mississippi State.
I hope to continue to have these conversations with you deep into June and maybe even into July a little bit, Coach O'Connor. We'll be talking to you again soon. Coach Brian O'Connor, Mississippi State Baseball. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.
I was going to do it myself there. Coach O'Connor joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. First time. Not the first time on this show, but first time for the season.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Into July. That'd be great if we had something into July, because you go to media days, then you go to football season, and it's...
I think about those 2 years back-to-back where we had the national championship teams. You're talking about making your job easy. You got something nice and fresh to talk about. We're not trying to, all right, what can we do today? So, help us out here, guys.
That is why they are going to work so hard to win, to help us.
To help us. Yeah. That's
just win, baby.
The absolute main reason. All right, back to the C Spire text line, some winners and losers when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk. SuperTalk Mississippi.
I have to add one more loser as we welcome you back to Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey, Hadad, and Cross with you. Sam Burns, who I like a lot. I like him a lot. He's from Louisiana, great golfer. When he won here at the Sanderson, he was really good with the kids in between holes, even on Sunday. Seems like a good dude. Hadad, he is 2 shots back of the clubhouse lead standing on the 18th at Pebble Beach. Now, the 18th is one of the most beautiful holes you've ever seen. The Pacific Ocean, waves crashing on the left side of the fairway. There's a tree in the middle of it. It's an iconic hole, but it's a par 5. Wind is blowing real hard. Again, he's 2 shots back. Eagles are available on that hole. Scotty did it. He eagled 18. There's a couple of others that day as well. Mm-hmm. Instead of going for it, taking a driver, trying to get in position to go for the green into an eagle and tie the clubhouse lead, Sam Burns took an iron off the tee to essentially lay up and end his chances at winning the tournament. He hit it in the bunker anyway. That'd be like being down a touchdown on the 12-yard line with 4 seconds left and kicking a field goal. That's what he did.
Okay.
He had a chance to tie, and he kicked a field goal instead. I was flabbergasted watching that decision. He took himself out of the tournament standing on the 18th tee. One of the softest decisions I've seen in a while in sports. I couldn't believe it. I like him a lot, but that's a loser move.
After it all was done, did he have something to say? Did he explain his
I have
thought
not
process?
seen a media op where he was asked about it. Maybe there was one. I have not seen it, but he hit it in the bunker anyway.
Yeah.
I assume he was afraid of going left into the rocks, but I don't care. You're 2 back of the lead standing on the 18th tee, and you lay up? Soft.
Well, there you go.
Soft. To the text line.
Wait, so he finished T6. Even if he had made birdie, had not made an eagle, and had finished in a tie for 4th at 20 under, he would have gotten a bigger check.
Yeah. Laid up. Hit it in the bunker. As he laid up, too. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Of course, if he had hit it in the ocean and made double bogey and dropped a couple of shots.
Scared money don't make money.
I have heard that.
Go for the win.
The difference in 19 under T6 and 17 under T14 was about $350,000.
Yeah, it's like 1% of his net worth. He's fine.
It's easy to talk about other people's money.
No excuses.
Some
Play
of those
like
guys
a champion.
look at it as a job.
Nobody else laid up on 18 except for him.
Yeah.
Well, winners from the weekend, Mississippi State sports, 11-0 on the weekend. And he says, winner, State's fan base was a great weekend for us. Loser, NBA All-Star Weekend speaks for itself. The dunk contest was especially egregious.
Yeah, outside of the game, it's all a bunch of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But the game this year apparently was better.
A whole lot of empty seats as well. Yeah. Loser, Canadian curling team. Yes, they keep cheating, and they keep getting caught, and they keep cheating. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry you keep losing, too. Winner, Mississippi State for beating the science. Shout out Cross for being the solution to that.
The cross corollary. We're going to make that a thing.
Somebody says, the fans behind the plate at Ole Miss seem bored. More energy in the dude.
I don't know. I didn't watch.
I mean, I watched some of the state games, and the people sitting right behind home plate are not, like, taking their shirts off and swinging it in the air either. And also, it's hard to get into games when you're winning 11-1 as opposed to close games in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. I don't know. That's just me, though.
Is it? Is it just you?
That's just me.
I got you.
Duty Noble has an electric atmosphere.
It does.
Mississippi State fans get into baseball in a way that very few other fan bases do, period.
Yeah.
It's why people talk about the dude effect. I mean, there is a very, very real home field advantage for Mississippi State in baseball.
There can be, yeah.
Can you let me subtle jab Hadad once? I never do it. I finally did it. I finally did one. He's been begging me for it.
I have no issue with the jab. I just kind of adding to the conversation. Sorry.
Just kidding. Winner. United States men's curling defeated defending gold medal winning Sweden. Loser, Mark Kennedy of Canada's curling team. I'm telling you, everybody's hating on Canada today. Winner, baseball fans, not only is college baseball back, but Major League spring training is heating up. Then we get the World Baseball Classic in the summer. Loser, Ole Miss men's basketball, obviously been hard to keep up with. Watch, I believe in Beard, but need to come up with a new strategy. Living and dying by the portal isn't the way to go in college basketball. That last part, I disagree with you completely. That is precisely how it's working in college basketball for everybody.
I feel like some schools are still going to try to have some semblance of high school recruiting,
but he signed the top recruits.
Yeah.
The most top recruits in the history of Ole Miss basketball. They're just not, like, one already transferred out.
Yeah.
And they're just not. Patton Pinkins plays a lot. It's just not working.
That was the one thing I hated about the game the other night. I had some really good Patton Pinkins stuff, but the game never allowed for those stories to be told. So, file them away for the future.
That's got to, as an announcer, do you hate that? You're like, all right, I got all this stuff on this guy, and then he doesn't do anything?
I had two really, really good stories. Mm-hmm. One was Patton Pinkins related, and the other was about Mississippi State's trainer. Their strength and conditioning coach in basketball, Dom, who played for Chris Beard at McMurray in Abilene, Texas, and then got his first job from Chris Beard. But the game just didn't allow for those stories to be told within a flow, and I'm not real big on just jamming them in for the sake of jamming them in. So,
I think people would appreciate that, yeah.
Winner, Tice Armstrong from Baylor, 3 grand slams in one game. Not a loser, but maybe...
unreal.
Yeah, and I love how ESPN's tweet was... had 3 grand slams in one game and 12 RBI. It's like, it's the minimum amount of RBIs that he could have with the 3 grand slams, but, context is important. He says, not a loser, maybe the unlucky is baseball player from Seton Hall's home run trot, broke his ankle on his home run.
That was nasty. That's as bad a broken ankle as I can remember seeing in some time.
I showed that video to Jane, and she said, "Oh, why did you show that to me?
Don't show that to your wife."
And then she goes, "All right, I need to see that again."
No.
It's like, you can't watch it and not have a verbal reaction to it. I mean, it's
I'm not a doctor, so maybe a doctor would tell me I'm insane. I feel like if it happened then, it was happening in the near future. I mean, his leg was going to snap in half.
That's a turf infield. Maybe he just caught it on something. I don't know. I mean, they're down in Puerto Rico. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Brutal.
That was, and of course, I don't know the answer. How did that game finish? Because that was the go-ahead run, but he doesn't score.
You can, in an instance like that, have a replacement runner to finish the bases.
Can.
Yes, you can.
I thought it was like they're just out of luck.
You got to crawl.
Yeah.
Do you take somebody that's never hit a home run before and allow him to trot?
Just let him trot? Yeah, get a pitcher out there.
Start pointing.
I did that.
Do that bow and arrow thing that all these kids do now.
Good stuff.
Loser, the sound, or however you want to word it, at the NBA All-Star Game, you could hear the net swish and the ball bounce off the rim like 0.5 seconds before it ever happened. Yeah, they didn't sync that up well.
Oh, was it not? Yeah.
I like when broadcasts experiment during non-serious events. Mm-hmm. That's something they need to table. It's just, you don't need to bring that back. You tried, didn't work, whatever. Also, loser, Doug Gottlieb in his post-game interview from the other day, he was hot at the officiating.
He had quite a bit to say, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. Far be it for me to defend Doug Gottlieb. Mm-hmm. If I were the player sitting next to him and the ones in the locker room, I love that out of my coach.
You're fired up for that, yeah.
I love that. My coach went to bat for me. He's going to have to pay a fine now. And, he's a head coach, so he's not, living on food stamps, but a fine for Doug Gottlieb's different for a fine for Chris Beard or Chris Jans. He's not making $8 million or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he's taking going to be a big fine. He called out his commissioner. He cussed at a press conference and did all that. I would like that. if I were on his team.
Yeah. He seems to have gotten more serious about coaching this year.
Yeah, quit his radio show?
He quit the radio show, yeah. So, I don't know if it's going to work out. It may be too late. But
they are playing better.
I appreciate the effort on that. So, and I'm not a big Gottlieb guy, so getting a compliment out of me for him is like throwing a manhole cover.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Somebody says, talk about how high World Cup tickets are. Oh, don't get me started. Here's my problem with it. Because
Between that and WrestleMania, we're just never going to see anything we want to see.
Yeah. The people in government, like a particular mayor talking about, well, we need to cap the prices. Get out of here. Government does not need to be getting involved in pricing. What I didn't like was USA Soccer not making sure that USA fans got the first chance. We have a nationwide fan supporter organization that should have gotten first dibs on our games, and they did not. That's the part I don't like, is you're just opening it up for all these people around the world who has $6,000 to spend on a ticket instead of our people that support our team the whole way. That's my problem with it. But I don't want the government stepping in. I just want U.S. Soccer to do a better job of accommodating its fans. More winners and losers when we come back.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
Boom! Are you ready for some football?
On Super Talk Mississippi.
All right, wrapping up winners and losers. Winner USM pulling almost 17,000 for the opening series, given the size of the baseball park. That's Jay and what he calls Baseburg. I like it.
So 17,000, and we had 28 for Oxford, so that's 45, 36 for State. So 79,000 fans at baseball games in the state of Mississippi this weekend. Not bad.
Pretty good.
Nowhere else in the country.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Looked like the crowds were pretty good in Arlington this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You had...
was it Saturday night? Had a huge crowd for the Arkansas game?
Yeah. Either Friday night or Saturday night. Yeah, that Arkansas crowd was massive.
Vandy dropped 2 and got run ruled in one of them.
Yeah. Oklahoma won
that. Yeah. Oklahoma looked really good.
Yeah. It's almost like the SEC is going to be...
SEC going to be good.
It's just going to be nasty.
Oh, you know what?
Again.
Belated winner. And maybe the only time this year. But shout out to Missouri baseball.
Yeah.
They won 34-3 yesterday. I don't know if Missouri played Mount St. Mary's in football if they'd win by 31 points. I don't know that for a fact. So, yeah, maybe the last time this year. 34-3. That's impressive.
Winners.
Nice job backsiding that series after losing the season opener.
Yeah. Hey, we got the win.
Winner Simpson Academy, girls basketball winning the 4A championship.
Congrats.
Winner Mississippi State softball, 10-0. First time to start the season that way.
Playing good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Reading, trying to get through a couple of these. One startled me there for a second. Sid wants to know if we saw the video of Trinidad and Jackson Dart riding the bull at a local establishment in Oxford this weekend. Giants fans, not happy. Even some Ole Miss fans, not happy that their quarterbacks were on top of a mechanical bull at a bar over the weekend. And to that I would say, go outside.
If that was frustrating to you?
If that upset you, just put the phone down, close your laptop, and go outside.
I don't think the mechanical bull was moving at like Mach speed.
You could tell the operator knew who was on top of it, if that makes sense. I've seen people get slung off those things at warp speed, and the two quarterbacks got treated with kid gloves. They'll be fine.
I've ridden one.
How'd they go?
I got my 8 seconds.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Long time ago. But it was fun. There used to be a video of it. It no longer exists, unfortunately.
We got to find it. Oh, everything that's ever been on the internet exists.
It was never on the internet. It was on VHS. You got a tape of it. You had to pay to have the tape.
So it was recorded on one of those big old, shouldered.
I guess, yeah. We were in Vegas at a casino, and they were like, "You want to do this?" I was like, "Sure." Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you find that, God bless you. I don't know where you would look.
Hey, Dad, I think we need to get, since you're nimble, we need to get you back on one.
If we can find one, I'll be happy to do it. Where is there one?
There was one here at an outdoor show.
Mm-hmm.
Got my son up on it. He, of course, absolutely loved it.
It starts with that, and then the next thing you know, we're doing something from the Dixie National Rodeo. Like, hey, Dad, just ride a bull. Just get out there. It'll be fine. No training.
I think that's content we can all get behind.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
We at least get you on a horse.
Feel bad for the horse.
There's a liability issue with the bull. I think that HR would stop.
I know our HR department, and she would be like, "That's hilarious. Make it happen." She's one of those we can break the rules if it's cool kind of people.
Yeah.
Until you get gored.
Well, that's just part of the game, I guess.
There is a mechanical bull at the library.
That's where this happened, yeah.
Well, I guess the next
it's a permanent fixture.
Next time we're there, then perhaps I'll.
It's not always set up, but it's always there.
Well, you make it. You know people up there. Pull some strings.
Somebody says, kind of like the bobsled. How do you learn that you're good at bull riding? By getting on one. I know somebody. So it's a friend of my sister's that actually was an Olympic bobsledder, and he got recruited at a local gym, and he was just like a super athlete, played smaller college football, and he was doing box jumps at the gym, and somebody walked up to him and was like, "Hey, you look really athletic. Come to this training thing that we're doing for bobsledding." And sure enough, he passed a couple of combines. They did all kinds of testing, and then they sent him out to Utah or wherever they did it, and he became an Olympic bobsledder because the right person was watching him work out at the gym.
Somebody says they've got a dead broke Tennessee walking horse that you can ride. Hey, Dad.
There you go.
Hey, Dad, look for the VHS tape in a box under your bed.
I need to watch somebody to come and watch me eat, and maybe I can be a competitive eater.
So in the next hour after the news, we'll recap the baseball series. We got to talk about it. We haven't really talked about them in depth yet, but of course we got to get to a college football fix. And an adjustment has been made now that Trinidad has been deemed eligible. I'll tell you about that after the news. Sports Talk Mississippi. College football fix is next.
Sports Talk Mississippi, your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State.
Let me put it to you this way.
Right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Hour 3 already, Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll get to baseball after this, but it's just after 5 o'clock. You know what time it is.
It's time for the college football fix, driven by Ford and your local Mississippi Ford dealers. Log on to buyfordnow.com and find out why the best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. 49 straight years, Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks in America. Test drive one today at your local Mississippi Ford dealer.
So now that I have hung up my law degree and I will no longer be practicing in my law firm, and we can be done with Law Talk Mississippi, Trinidad Chambliss is going to play for Ole Miss. We knew this was coming, but now that it's over, you get to actually have the conversation around this team and this player in particular about just football moving forward. You're starting to see that conversation shift. We'll do the pressure and stuff like that later on in the offseason, but the hype is now building around Trinidad Chambliss, so much so that now that we know he's going to be eligible, he is number two in Heisman odds entering 2026. Arch Manning is actually number 1, understandably so, for a lot of reasons when it comes to odds and Arch Manning at 6-1. But Chambliss is number 2 in the country in Heisman odds at 13-2.
I mean, that feels about right. We're talking about returning production. We're talking about a guy who you've seen make. When we think about the Heisman Trophy, sometimes there's like a play, right? There's something that stands out. Well, I mean, what he did in the Sugar Bowl, if he does that in a regular season game, that's a play that everybody circles, and so he's got that capability. He's got plenty. Heisman winners can't do it all alone. They got to have weapons around them. He's got plenty of those. And they'll play in some games this year that'll put the spotlight on them. They have Georgia again. They have Texas, correct?
They do.
Yeah, so you've got some big matchups there.
Pretty big opportunity early when a lot of eyeballs are going to be on them on September 19th.
Yes, that game is important, I believe. So
whoever pulls the signs for College Game Day, because they don't let good signs show up on College Game Day anymore. That person's going to have to work the hardest they've ever worked in their entire life.
I just hope they recycle. Let's recycle all that poster board, because hundreds are going to go unseen. There needs to be a Twitter feed for that. The unseen signs of College Game Day, and here they are, and I'm sure there'll be something. So yes,
hey Dad, thank you for the idea. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Did you think of that or something?
No, I'm saying that I will go there and I will find all of the rejected signs.
Just slip
Let me
whoever
just
does
clean
that.
these up for you.
Just slips whoever does that a 50 and be like, "Can I just take some pictures?"
Yeah, that's all I want.
Yeah, nothing to it. Yeah, that's a winner. So yes, we talked. Was it Friday? We did a sort of a off the cuff quarterback ranking. Chambliss or Manning are 1A, 1B. You can flip them however you want. Those are the top 2 guys in the SEC next year. Ole Miss should jump up quite a bit in these preseason polls. We've been seeing them like 15, 16, 17, maybe even 20. They should jump into the top 10 at this point. So everything's in place. You got to have that preseason hype. You got to have the right team, the right weapons around you. Everything's in place for Trinidad Chambliss. Now he's going to have to deliver.
Yeah, and I mean, things are different. Different head coach, different offensive coordinator. Luckily for him, his quarterback's coach is still there. That helps a ton. And it is, as we talk about all the time with Baker, it's the same system. It's not like he's learning an entirely new system and it's a guy that's going to try to do things that doesn't fit his game. It's a system that is tailored to his exact skill set. I actually talked about this on the podcast last night, and nobody in the comments got upset with this take, but Jackson Dart could not have done for Ole Miss what Trinidad did this past season. But Jackson Dart's a better prospect than Trinidad Chambliss is. Mm-hmm. But he could not do what Chambliss was able to do in that system in the college game, whereas, again, he was a first-round pick. He's a starter already in the NFL. Neither of those things are immediately in Trinidad's future. So it's a system that, while it's a new play caller, it's a Kiffin disciple who runs the same system. So it still fits what his skill set is. Instead of trying to change things around, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah. But as mentioned on the text line, obviously the loss of Kiffin and Weiss is something to monitor. All right? I mean, Kiffin and Weiss, those guys were great offensive coaches. They are great offensive coaches. And so it's going to be on, is it Baker is his last name?
John David Baker.
John David Baker. Yep. To keep that going.
Mm-hmm. And Judge, too.
And Judge, yeah. So
somebody asked what kind of a play caller John David Baker is. I was just going to so his quarterback this past year at East Carolina was Caton Hauser. Threw for 3,300 yards and 19 touchdowns. Rushing stats. What did they do? They had a 750-yard rusher and a 600-yard rusher.
Where did he end up going? I know he was a portal addition. I don't know where he went, but
what was the first name on him?
Caton, right? With a K.
Kaitin.
Yeah.
He is at Illinois.
Ah, there you go.
Taking over for Luke Altmaier,
who is off to the league. But if you want to look at like total offense, scoring offense, stuff like that, East Carolina, the 4 years before he got there versus the 2 years that he was there as the OC, it's a dramatic difference. He did a great job. Does that mean that he will be as good as Weiss was, especially down the stretch? Who knows? We'll see. But the East Carolina offense did a dramatic turnaround immediately after he got there. And again, he is a Kiffin disciple. He coached under Kiffin at Ole Miss. He has been coaching that offense for a while for that guy. And what's interesting, I would love to, if we get the opportunity, which I expect that we will, he was sitting right next to Charlie Weiss during the playoff run. He was there the whole time. And, what did you absorb? Did you take anything new into your offense? And how involved were you in the game planning and scheming for the playoff run? Because every time they cut to Weiss on the broadcast, that's who you saw sitting next to him. If you were watching on TV and you didn't recognize the guy, it was him. And so how many notes did you take during that process as you were transitioning to become the offensive coordinator yourself, sitting next to the one that was doing it right there? That's a really interesting, of all the weird staff stuff that happened, that one's probably really beneficial, right? To have Baker sitting next to Weiss as they did all that together going through the playoff?
I think probably so. And look, I mean, it's not like John David Baker is going to walk onto the practice field for the first practice in the spring or the first practice in the fall and be like, what have we got here? We've got us a Trinidad. Well, let's see what he's capable of. I mean, there's a dozen games worth of film where they can, intricately break down what worked, what didn't, what Trinidad liked from a play calling standpoint, what he didn't like. I mean, to me, the biggest thing is rhythm in terms of play calling. And are you and your quarterback and your offense kind of all on the same page? Does it feel like there's a flow? Does it feel like there is internal predictability? Not that you want to be externally predictable, but do your players have an understanding of what your play caller is trying to accomplish? Does the play caller have a great understanding of what players are capable of doing? Do you adjust any blocking schemes in the run game? I mean, it's probably not. And you got a lot of the same people that are going to be around. Not all. I mean, there are a lot of changes too, but I do think it's a very real and interesting thing to watch. I said more than once that, the thing that stood out to me more than anything about Lane Kiffin was that dog whistle that you got from him.
Yeah.
After the play clock, or after the helmet communication had gone out, he sees where the defense is, and he hits that whistle one time. His quarterback cuts his eyes over at him. They make an adjustment, and now you've got the right play for the defense. And it felt like that was, probably an exaggeration here, but felt like it was worth probably about a touchdown a game. Doesn't mean
you
that
heard
a
it
new
a
play call.
lot. Yeah.
Say what?
You just heard it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't mean some of the plays that were called before you changed them wouldn't have worked also, but there was a very real in-game understanding of what they needed to be in. And Kiffin will be doing that for Sam Leavitt this coming year.
Yeah. By the way, a few of the guys behind Trinidad in Heisman odds: C.J. Carr 15-2, Dante Moore 10-1, Josh Hoover 10-1, Julian Sayin. There's, by the way, some value in Sayin at 12-1
for sure.
Leavitt at 13-1, Jeremiah Smith and Jaden Mayava at 14-1. I hope I said that correctly. Mensa at Miami now at 15-1, and Mateer at 16-1.
You guys remember when I said the French boy at Ole Miss was the best NBA prospect Ole Miss had ever had?
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I don't remember that. But
neither do I. Neither do I.
Better than Jelon Kendrick, I guess. We'll talk baseball.
I don't even know who that is.
We'll be back.
From the
place for crazy people. If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Let's start with what happened in Starkville. Hey, had a couple of texts earlier on this kind of line of thinking. We said going into the series that, it needed to be 3 really dominating wins to feel good about what happened. Now, a sweep is a sweep, and you look around the country, not everybody got to sweep this weekend, and all that matters is if you win the games. However, 2 of the 3 against Hofstra, I think they were picked to finish last in the CAA this year, were close games. So what do you make of what you saw from the first 3 games of the Brian O'Connor era?
See, I read something where they were picked second in that conference.
Or maybe they finished last year?
They finished last year.
That's my bad. That's on me. That's my bad.
Their Friday night guy, I thought he was really good. Like, really good. Came in and pitched really well. I thought from a mentality standpoint, Hofstra, they played the way a team should play in these games, where a game where you have nothing to lose, no chip on their shoulder. They were there to just play baseball and see what happens, and they got really close to pulling off what would have been a monumental win for them. But to Mississippi State's credit, they held them off. The Saturday game 1 was a little bit more of the dominant game. It was a shutout going into the 9th inning. They hit a solo home run there in the top of the 9th to take away the shutout. But in the second game, you fall behind 3-0 in the first inning, and you've got to come all the way back. And thankfully, you have Ace Reese, and thankfully, for some reason, on a 1-2 count with first base open, they decide to hang up a breaking ball to him, and he deposits that out into the right field lounge. It did not go the way I thought it was going to go when we were talking on Thursday. I thought State would be able to get a couple of run rule wins, just easily win these games, and they did struggle a little bit more than I would have thought. And as I asked O'Connor, I don't think it's a coincidence now that the guys who had the best weekends were the guys who had played before. Ace Reese, Garrick Fry, Bryce Chance, Noah Sullivan, those guys who've all played there. Nunnally, Teal, Maluski. Maluski was really good behind the plate, but at the plate, he struggled. No question about that. And I can't help but wonder, if the first time in front of 12,000 people like that, if the nerves got to him a little bit. So I'm interested to see what this week brings. You've got 5 games this week at home. Troy is no pushover on Tuesday. That is a team that came to Starkville last year and got a win. So they're certainly capable. But you need to be, 4-1 this week isn't the end of the world, but 5-0 would be much better. And I'd like to see those guys, those Virginia guys and the other transfers, just start to develop a little bit more at the plate and get used to their surroundings at Dudy Noble.
I wouldn't worry about Aiden Teal.
Yeah, I'm not too terribly worried about it, no.
He can play.
Yeah.
What about on the mound?
I thought they were good on the mound. McPherson has great stuff. He missed a couple of spots, but he was really good. Valinkas was the most impressive pitcher of the weekend, and he is the guy I think when we get into SEC play, you'll see him move to Fridays. Just an absolute dog out there. Just absolutely dominated his guys. And then I like the South Carolina transfer that nobody was talking about. We spent a lot of the offseason talking about Tyler Pitzer and had what the great summer he had in the Cape. But Brendan Sweeney came in, and as O'Connor mentioned, he had pitched it in Starkville a season ago. He was really good in relief for Mississippi State. Charlie Foster struggled a little bit out the gates, but once he got through that first inning, he was good for Mississippi State. And then I thought it was interesting to go to Maddox Webb there as your closer in game 2. That not the guy I would have expected. Thought maybe that might be where Pitzer comes in. Thought maybe you might see Jack Bauer in that situation. But they went with the freshman Webb, and he was really good for State.
I know he didn't start game 1, but did it feel like a big deal to get Noah Sullivan back?
Yes.
Hey, Dad, why didn't he start in game 1? Is he hurt?
I hate both of you. Both of you are just terrible, terrible people.
See, sometimes I listen when I'm not here.
I appreciate that. Yeah, but he was good. He's just a good hitter. No question.
I really didn't care if you talked about him. I just wanted to.
Yeah, but he's a good player though.
Poke the bear.
Best mustache in college baseball too.
So is it fair to say? It's the first weekend. It's the middle of February. If you're panicking about 3 wins, you're nuts. But also, put a little line next to a couple of things, and maybe we revisit this conversation in a few weeks if it doesn't go well.
We come back this week and they struggle. They're still struggling at the plate. We'll talk about it more for sure.
Who's going to be the leading home run hitter for State?
I would be surprised if it's not Reese.
Okay.
It just feels like he's on pace to hit 20 plus. And then, we'll see between, Sullivan. Maluski has power, but he's got to obviously get going at the plate a little bit. Trying to think my way around the lineup. Chance, no. Nunnally, no. Teal will be double digits, but I don't think he'll be pushing for the lead there.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Good summary there.
Well, thank you.
Borkey, if you ask that question about Ole Miss, who's going to be the leading home run hitter on this team? I mean, the easy answer is Judd Utermark. But I don't know, man. They swung it this weekend.
They did. Becerra had 5 hits, the Clemson transfer. Shout out Greenville, South Carolina. It just produced champions. That's all Greenville does. I mean, me, Becerra,
others.
Others, too.
The Four Horsemen.
Exactly. Yeah. Orlando Jones, so not to brag. But no, he was really good. Furness had 4. Utermark had 4. Reuter had 4. I mean, Randall was 3 of his 7 appearances. They mashed the baseball for the most part. Furness really struggles with lefties. He's got to figure that out. But by and large, at the plate, it was the weekend that you were hoping it would have. And that includes a 1 for 10 from Foley as well. So a guy that hit, what was it 16, 17 home runs? Or was he a 20 home run guy last year? Doesn't matter.
I think he was at 20.
Big home run guy a year ago goes 1 for 10 in your opening weekend. And you scored, let's do quick math here, 11, 5, and 13. So 29 runs in 3 games, and one of them was shortened because of a run rule.
Yeah.
You'll take that.
And I heard you talking, I guess it was Thursday afternoon, about Ole Miss playing clean baseball. And they make 3 errors on the weekend, but 2 of them happened in the same inning, I think.
Yeah, so
or 1 inning apart with Braden Randall out at short.
Yeah, on Friday, the 2 runs that Nevada scored in the 6th. Now, I think 3 of them should have been ruled errors, and only 2 of them were. I think there was another one that should have been ruled an error that directly led to a couple of runs. And then, Payno's not going to be an everyday starter, and with all due respect to the young man, I don't know if he's playable at this moment, because if he's going to strike out at that volume and then also not defend the position well, I don't know how you can get him in lineups at this point. But concerned about middle infield defense. That's the only negative this weekend. I mean, bullpen was good, hitting was good, starting pitching was excellent this weekend.
I think Dom Decker at second base, pretty solid.
Yeah, he did have. I think both errors weren't attributed to him.
No.
In game 1, but
no, I thought they were both attributed to Randall. Yeah, did they give him the first one?
One of them should have been on Decker in that moment, but still. Weren't perfect defensively, but otherwise, it's what you wanted to see out of this team.
Yeah.
Especially, so you already know what Hunter Elliott's capable of. But Libert had electric stuff, the Missouri transfer. 7 strikeouts and his 5 complete. Only gave up 4 hits. And Cade Townsend, hey, Dad, you're going to love this. I know Richard knows the stat already. He threw 54 pitches in his 4 2/3 in game 2. 48 of them were strikes.
Nothing wrong with that.
He threw 6 balls out of the strike zone.
89% strikes and 89% first pitch strikes.
I mean, that'll keep getting you opportunities. I'll put it that way. They will call your name pretty early from the bullpen if that's what you're doing.
I think it's pretty safe to say. And by the way, programming note: if you're wondering why we're not visiting with Mike Bianco right now, he had a speaking obligation this afternoon, and will join us next weekend or next Monday, and throughout the season. Pretty safe to say that you're going to see Hunter Elliott, Cade Townsend, and Will Libert go Friday, Saturday, Sunday this coming weekend against Missouri State also.
Sneaky good mid-major there as well. They'll be tested a little bit this week.
They've been a postseason team.
Yeah.
And then week 3, Ole Miss goes to Houston, and they will play Baylor, Ohio State, and Coastal Carolina in in that tournament. Coastal Carolina's a good baseball team. They got a lot of pieces back from that squad from a year ago, and that'll be a good challenge for the Rebels. 2 midweek games this week also. Arkansas State tomorrow, Jackson State on Wednesday. So a busy baseball week here in the Magnolia State. All in all, wouldn't you say maybe a solid A for Ole Miss over the weekend?
Yes.
I mean, how could you not? Yeah.
You're being hypercritical if you go below that.
Yeah. I mean, you get 3 wins, you hit 330 as a team, you hit 5 home runs over 3 games. You make the 3 errors, but, basically clean baseball, and you pitched it really, really well. 35 strikeouts and just 6 walks on the weekend. We're back with you. More Sports Talk Mississippi after this.
From the Sports Talk Mississippi to the junction, in the groove, and to the top. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Sampling of the text line, talking about the baseball games from the weekend. David says, I feel good about the Bulldogs. Games were close because Hofstra was better than expected, and the Bulldogs would have imploded in previous years.
I definitely agree that Hofstra was better than I thought they were going to be. And I also would agree that a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, State would have found a way to lose one of these 3 games.
Game 3? More losable than Game 1?
I mean, Game 1, they had second and third with 2 outs, down 1. They could have easily found a way. So,
depending on number of ABs, Fry gets 15, somebody says.
Could happen, yeah.
Space's biggest takeaway for me was what we saw out of Townsend. Yeah, that was a really impressive, not debut because you've seen him before, obviously, but debut in that role, you really... I mean, I guess you technically could ask for better. He could go 54 of 54 throwing strikes, so technically he could have been better, but you really can't ask for much more than what he gave you on Saturday.
Yeah, and his pitch count was a little more limited than you had with Elliott and also with Libber. So he threw 54 pitches, went 4 2/3, 8 strikeouts, no walks. And we talked about the 48 of 54 pitches were strikes. That's not always a good thing. It kind of depends on the quality of the pitches, but Mike Bianco talked about those being quality strikes, not just, groove fastballs down the middle. I mean, there are a lot of guys that could throw 89% strikes if they just threw fastball down the middle. The problem is you throw fastball down the middle to Nevada or Hofstra or anybody else, and you're going to get teed off on. And so that wasn't the case.
The 8 strikeouts is a good number there.
Yeah. Elliott goes 82 pitches in 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. And then yesterday, Libber gives you 5 innings through 81 pitches with 7 strikeouts and 1 walk.
Good message here, a long one, but worth reading. Few takes on Ole Miss baseball this weekend. Pitchers throwing strikes like I have not seen in years. Bissett is my new favorite player. It's because he's from where I'm from. I hear you. I appreciate you. Bats are more disciplined than in the past. No overly concerning number of strikeouts. Will did not strike out over the weekend. All good except for Judd is striking out too much. You're going to say that's just going to be him. He's going to strike out a lot. But agreed there. Question whether he should stay in the top 5 batting lineup going forward. Don't know about that. Before I continue, I think he needs to stay absolutely in the top 5. Utermark? Yeah. I don't care about a strikeout rate. He needs as many at-bats in a game as humanly possible.
Yeah, let's see. Utermark hit second in game 1 and went 1 for 3 with 3 runs scored. So he had a hit and a walk. He struck out twice. In game 2, he went 1 for 3 with a run scored, drove in a run, had 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. And in game 3, they dropped him to third in the lineup. He went 2 for 3, scored 3 runs, drove in 2, walked 1, and did not strike out.
Yeah, he's just that bat's too electric to not have him see as many ABs as possible. He does strike out a lot. It's a problem, but it's what you get with him. He also said 3 starting pitchers look really good, early but very pleased. Feel bad for Pano, but another error and 3 strikeouts. 2 watching third strike, can't have that. Really good, thoughtful message. Thank you.
Let's see. So all told this weekend, Judd Uter marked 9 at-bats. So what was it, 10 plate appearances? Or maybe it was 11. 3 walks, 4 hits, a home run, 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in, slugging 1,000, and yes, there were 4 strikeouts. Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere in the lineup. Those are power hitter numbers.
Yeah. And he's got that. Another one. From a stuff standpoint, McPherson is probably State's Friday starter. He was sitting 97-98 the first 2 innings on Friday.
It was really good. I said just missed a few pitches here and there, but yeah, from a stuff standpoint, you're right. That being said, the thought of, because Volinkis' stuff isn't that much worse. He's throwing 95, 96. And if he's a little bit better and you can put a guy like McPherson on Saturday, now you're talking. That's the formula for winning series is that I have guys like that pitching Saturday, Sunday.
Why did Utermark move to third base? That's a more natural position for a guy his size, and they brought in Dom Decker.
The International Hague called in and were like, it's a war crime to have a 6'5" second baseman. We can't allow it.
Somebody says Ole Miss's lack of a shortstop is an issue. They've been very good at that position for quite some time. And it's hard to see them be average there in that spot. It's what they are right now.
Yeah. And last year was really the first time that you had seen that for an Ole Miss team going back to the early days of Mike Bianco.
And then I should have brought this up earlier. I made a note to do it because a lot of people are getting No 3 Sports over the weekend. So not On 3, but No 3. It's an account that tries to get you to believe fake news about Deuce Knight after the Trinidad news that Deuce Knight wants out and he's on all that stuff. When he signed with Ole Miss, what did I say on this show 100 times, Hadad? He was aware that they were doing everything they possibly could to get Trinidad to come back. No 3 Sports did a thing, and people and Facebook, everybody's freaking out. If he's mad that Trinidad's coming back, it's because he didn't listen to literally everybody involved in the entire process telling him very point blank, no, if you come here, they are working to get Trinidad back, and he is going to be their quarterback in 2026. And he was aware of that when he signed.
There is a possibility that he did not listen.
He was aware of it when he signed.
We're talking about athletes here. These guys, they don't listen. They just hear.
But No 3 Sports is not on 3 Sports. You have to. I know it's annoying, and that's how social media is these days.
They said No 3 Sports. Never wrong, just always early.
He was aware that Trinidad was coming back, was made aware of it the entire time. The whole time that this was going on. No 3 Sports is not real. If he's mad, it's kind of on him because everybody told him that he was. But as of my understanding, there's no truth to any of the rumors that were started by a fake Twitter account about him being unhappy.
We get a message on the C Spire text line that says, speaking of lineups, Double Decker has a pretty good one this year. They do. Sports Talk Mississippi, brought to you in part by Visit Oxford. Find them online at visitoxfordms.com. Made the announcement a couple of weeks ago. Friday night, you get Penelope Road at 6 p.m., then The War and Treaty at 7:30, and Shane Smith and the Saints at 9 o'clock. The Saturday lineup includes Annie and the Caldwells, the Anameros, Mountain Grass Unit, the Heavy, the Dip, and Margot Price, and then Wilco will round it out on Saturday night. Borkey, our resident music guy.
Love Wilco. Well, that's a classic name right there. And it's also, if you're a Parks and Rec fan like me, when they did the Unity concert and they got Land Ho to come back together to play, that's actually Wilco. So they played a band in the show Parks and Rec. I love that fact. It was one of my favorite facts because they brought in a real band to do the Unity concert. It happened to be Wilco, but yeah, they've been doing this for a long time. And if you just want to see a quality show done by pros with really good music, yeah, you need to go. They do such a good job with that lineup these days, man. I mean,
yeah, it's really good.
I mean, you had Blackberry Smoke and Marcus King. I saw Dr. John on that stage a few years ago before he passed. And I mean,
yeah. You can keep up with everything that's happening in and around Oxford on the Visit Oxford website. It's visitoxfordms.com, visitoxfordms.com, or Visit Oxford on all of the social media platforms. Thanks to our friends at Visit Oxford.
We got one other Oxford-related thing to talk about.
Oh, yeah?
I hate to do back-to-back advertisements, but if you're in the market for a new truck, or maybe
tell me more.
Maybe you've just purchased one.
You got a truck, Hadad?
No. Nope. Not me. You should go see our friends at Belk Ford and Oxford Toyota. They know how to treat you right. They know how to make the buying experience worth the drive to Oxford. I made it, and I'm encouraging you to do as well. But even the locals know what a great deal and what a great experience you can get at Belk Ford and Oxford Toyota. That's why they have more repeat business than any other dealership I've ever encountered. Belk Ford, Oxford Toyota on Highway 6 in Oxford.
I've been a customer of Belk Ford since 1999.
And still a customer in 2026.
Right here in 2026 also.
You know what they say about comedy?
We were talking this, and I was like, he said something about a truck. I was like, you got another truck? Yes.
It's beautiful, too.
I can't wait to see it.
Antimatter blue. It's the navy that they've got.
Since I was see it 13, before you get rid of it. You know?
What is it?
As long as I see you before June, we should be okay.
Since I was 13 years old, I've wanted a navy blue truck. It's the first one I've ever had.
Well, there you go.
I love it.
There you go. Well, you can get one, too, today at Belk Ford and Oxford Toyota. We'll wrap it up when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports. On your radio and in the game. Super Talk Mississippi.
Even Brian Hadad is a sucker for an Andy Kennedy quote.
Oh, give it to me.
Quote, UAB head coach Andy Kennedy on UAB going 10 of 22 on layups in their loss to Tulane said, "These are college scholarship players that are making more money than most people in this room. Is it too much to ask for you to make a layup? I mean, we're living in bozo land, man."
Never change, AK. Never change. Bozo land. That's fantastic.
Land. I don't hate that, though.
No, he's right.
The great philosopher Andy Kennedy.
I believe it was Aristotle, or perhaps it was Andy Kennedy who said, I mean, he's not wrong. They're getting paid. Make the darn layup.
Make the layup.
Like, I understand you can't make every shot. I get how basketball works, but, you know, the layup is a hybrid. It should be a better than 50% percentage shot. 10 of 22 for layups is... The word unacceptable can be used there. It's okay to use it.
Can we add one to the winners list?
We can do whatever we want. It's our show.
We're about 3 weeks removed now from the winter storm and the ice and everything. Guys, Lafayette County, if you haven't seen it, was just devastated. And there's evidence of it everywhere. There are now 3 residents remaining in Lafayette County without power. And 1 in Union County of the ones that are served by Northeast Mississippi Electric Power Association. So about 30,500 members. At one point, that number was like 27,000 that were without power. It's down to 4 3 in Lafayette County and 1 in Union County. So good work. Good work by all of those crews. I know for everybody it took longer than they wanted it to take to get power back on. But, man, the damage was catastrophic. And those boys and girls have been working long days for about 3 weeks. And they're honestly a little ahead of what they anticipated their internal schedule was going to be. So that's good news. Just thought I'd pass that along.
Yeah, and whoever's in the mulch game is going to have a lot of inventory. That's what they're doing with all the trees, right? They're just shipping them kind of like out of town and mulching the heck out of them.
Yeah, it's a really cool operation. So they've got about 50 of these double trailer trucks, and they are huge. So about the equivalent of 100 trucks, and they are loading. So they've got a clamshell arm in between the 2 trailers, reaching down, picking up the piles, loading them, and then they head north on Highway 7. It's right at the edge of Abbeville. I mean, it's just a big, wide open field. And Borkey, they got like 20 trucks at a time. They're just lined up on the side of the highway going in. So they unload the trucks, and then there's a big excavator that picks up the debris and drops it in this massive mulcher, shooting it down on the backside, and then they've got these big heavy-duty front-end loaders that are scooping it up and then like driving it off to the edge of the field and spreading it. And like when they fill the entire field, they go start over. I mean, it's a really cool operation to watch.
That's wild. I guess they'll just take it right back in town, right, and let people mulch their yards?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume it would just sit there, but I suppose if there's some people that have said you actually don't want to do that because you don't know, where you've got ants or where you've got termites or whatever in that mulch. It's not treated mulch as opposed to just raw.
It always happened with my parents growing up. Every time that I found myself into some trouble, we got a delivery of mulch. It was amazing how the timing worked out.
Borkey, let me introduce you to my friend the pitchfork. It's the best way to distribute the mulch.
A pine straw guy these days.
Yeah. Which isn't a whole lot of fun to put out either.
No, mostly because I just rake it up in the back, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to save money where you can,
Yeah, somebody said not the right kind of mulch. But if you're trying to save money where you can, maybe it is the right kind of mulch.
There's no wrong kind of mulch if you're trying to save money, I would imagine.
Did you guys spend some time exploring the Big Ten's 24-game playoff proposal last week?
We did. We came to a conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
You hated it?
We hated it, but we won't act for 1 second like every minute of it wouldn't be awesome.
Those games and the venues that it would have been in
be
last
incredible games, but the idea itself we can't get behind. So
to me, the only problem with it is that for the quarterfinal rounds, you go to the bowl sites. I just have that round on campus too, and go semifinals and championship game. Rotate through the Big Six.
I don't mind any of that, but at the same time, I do mind it. So it's a tough situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us on this Monday afternoon, Sports Talk Mississippi in the Pearl River Resort Studio. If you missed the conversations with Christian Ostrander or Brian O'Connor, you can go back and get those on demand at supertalk.fm. Mike Bianco will join us beginning next week as well. All of our guests appeared on the Farm Bureau guest line. Thanks for being with us on this Monday. For Borkey and Hadad, I'm Richard. Have a good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.